Yes, before long rides or long drives or when it's hot, I powder my nards. And I am including my link to AntiMonkeyBot below because I want to see you guys powder your nards too. Fist bump. In this video, I am comparing my 2018 Mustang GT with my 2018 Shelby GT350. The purpose is because I know some guys are cross-shopping these cars and you may want to have the perspective of someone who has the pleasure of owning both. The idea is that do you really need to spend 10 or 20,000 extra or even more on a Shelby, or will a Mustang GT performance package suffice? All right, here's the lineup. Firstly, both of these cars will only be evaluated in sport mode, which is the only way I drive. My 2018 Mustang GT Premium was a premium trim. It was a performance package level 1. They didn't have the PB2 back then, otherwise I would have gotten it because I love cars that can handle. I had the Magna Ride in the MT82 manual transmission. The car was a beautiful shadow black and had the 401A premium red leather interior. It was beautiful. The Mustang had the digital dash, all of the interior lighting. It was a beautiful thing. My Shelby GT350 has the electronics package because I wanted the heated and cooled seats, and my big butt doesn't really fit into the Recaros too comfortably. And of course, the GT350 has the Magna Ride and the Tremec transmission. The car is shadow black, and I put on my own vinyl stripes, which are matte and red pinstripe, because as you can tell, I like black and red. In case you're interested, I also like gray and red. Let's talk about looks. My Mustang GT was absolutely beautiful. I love the aggressive design, especially the arrow over the back end of the rear tires. I love the PP1 spoiler. A lot of people actually thought that car was some sort of exotic car, people who weren't familiar with Mustangs. And when I told them it was only $50K, they were like, oh, okay. My only gripe with the 2018 Mustang GT is the front end is a little bit less aggressive than the previous models, but that's something that can be easily rectified in the aftermarket. As beautiful as the Mustang GT was, I'm gonna score the looks department for the GT350. Just look at that aggressive front end. It looks like it's gonna devour you alive. Look at the beautiful vents on the left-hand side. I wish the GT500 had something like that to distinguish it from the side. I love the spoiler, and I love the spoiler in the 2019 Plus models even more. I'd say out of all the cars that I've had, and I've had multiple M3s, an M Roadster, a 2017 STI, and the Mustang GT, I'd say this GT350 is probably my favorite looking car of all time. So I'm giving it number 1 in terms of looks. The reality is that both cars turn heads, especially the GT350 with that exotic exhaust note coming down the street, case in point. And I haven't even put in the X-pipe yet. The exhaust note brings me to my next point. The awesome sound of both of these cars. I'm gonna call it a straight up tie. I love the growling, rumbling engine of the Mustang GT, especially when I put those Roush axle backs on the back. Oh yeah. It sounded delectable. The GT has a deep guttural sound, and the GT350 is a screaming banshee. They're both angrily voluptuous to the ear. Both command respect, and both get looks of admiration from even car guys of other ilk. Let's talk about power. I'm calling this one a tie too, because the Mustang GT is going to get you 0 to 60 a little bit quicker than the GT350, which has a more linear power delivery despite having more horsepower. Think of it this way, if you're flying around a corner at 100 miles an hour, you don't want a jolt of torque making you fly off the track. Because of the higher horsepower, the GT350 is going to beat the Mustang GT in roll racing. So if you want a car that's a little bit quicker in the more usable power range from 0 to 60, then get the Mustang GT. But if you want to win in a roll race or track your car, get the GT350. Both of these cars sound so awesome that even cotton tops are telling me to rev it up when I drive by. No! Sometimes they're so excited, they give me the number 1 symbol. No! Let's talk about comfort. The Mustang GT is just that, Gran Turismo. The term turismo is derived from Italian roots, meaning an automobile that is able to travel at a high rate of speed for long distance in both comfort and style. And Ford delivers that splendidly. The car is both awesomely comfortable and has splendiferous performance. Splendiferous. The first time I drove my GT350 on my maiden voyage home, and when I went around a corner, I was like, okay, yeah, this is not a Gran Turismo. Yet the GT350 does not completely do away with comfort altogether. Like I said, the 350 is not as all cushy as my GT was, which wasn't super cushy, but it's not all going over bumps like my 17 STI was. Now that car is rigid, but it will fly around a corner in the snow. So how else can I compare the two? Let's say the Mustang GT was like a cheetah with a pillow on its back. And the GT350 is like a muscular jaguar with a healthy dusting of anti-monkey butt. I am not kidding, this stuff is awesome for motorcyclists as well as Mustang drivers. It makes you feel nice and cushy down there. Yes, before long rides or long drives or when it's hot, I powder my nards. And I am including my link to anti-monkey butt below because I want to see you guys powder your nards too. Yo! That didn't come out right. If you want to go around corners like this, well, either car will do, especially if you get the performance package level 2. But if you want an absolute track slayer, you got to get the GT350. If you're going to be spending your days ripping around corners on the racetrack, this car is already everything you need it to be. However, my next video is going to be putting nitrous in this car because I got to entertain my viewers somehow. Scream, Banshee, scream! Oh man, I could just listen to that all day. The main difference is between this and the Mustang GT is this thing is literally Velcroed to the road. Let's talk about interior. Both of these cars have nice, approaching luxurious interior. The GT350 has nice Alcantara, soft and voluptuous, and it holds you in your seat around corners. And guys, Cobra logos, okay? Cobras. 2 words, Cobra logos, because Cobras. However, I'm gonna have to give this to the Mustang GT with the 401A interior, which had this beautiful red perforated leather in the front, had beautiful red leather stitching all throughout the interior. Look at this beautiful stitched trim here. At least it had leather in the front. The back seats were vinyl. Ford, I give you $50,000 of my hard-earned ducats, which is a performance bargain to say the least. The best horsepower for the buck, but still, I give you $50,000, and with all the hamburgers that my country eats, you can't spread half a cow's butt cheek across the back of my seat and call it a day? Vinyl. Vinyl. Anyway, it's not like anybody's gonna be in the back seat anyway, because there's no leg room. I will also say about the GT350 that in the 18 model, it does have this kind of cheap feeling console, but that has been rectified in the 2019 plus models. Now it's nicely wrapped. However, the Mustang GT does have that beautiful ambient lighting inside. You guys know what you can do. You can change all the colors. It looks beautiful at nighttime. I love that kind of stuff. I'm a sucker for technology. So if you're gonna get a Mustang GT, get that 401A interior. It's worth it. Let's park for a second. Modability. Goes to the Mustang GT big time, boys. The aftermarket is inundated with some awesome mods that you can use to tweak your Mustang GT to make it exactly what you want. No! And although there are tons of Mustangs on the road, with the aftermarket you can quickly and easily make yours unique to match your personal style. No! There are options for both, such as fueling and power adders, such as this little bottle of fun right here. Stay tuned. But the GT350 has less performance options because, quite frankly, the car is track ready right off the lot. However, some improvements can be made, just not as many as you can do for the Mustang GT. Guys, I am seriously looking forward to this, and I'm hoping those aren't famous last words. This thing is a massive bottle of good times. Stay tuned. Now let's talk about the PP2. So the PP2 Mustang GT takes the Mustang GT platform right underneath the GT350 platform, so performance is going to be very close. You can still have fun on the track, But then you can enjoy your 10R80 on the roads, you can do some drag racing, you can get groceries in style and comfort, and you don't have to spend $20,000 extra dollars. So if you're on a budget and you want to do a little bit of everything, such as drag racing, where you can make use of that 10R80, you want to do some cornering, you want to do some track days on the road course, so you get the PP level 2, then get the Mustang GT. But if you want an all-around track slayer that has that Shelby moniker with which everyone is so familiar, it's going to get you a lot of looks and a lot of comments, even from guys who don't like Mustangs, and you don't mind spending another $10,000 or $20,000, then get the GT350. Either way, you can't go wrong with either car. You're going to get a lot of compliments on your Mustang GT. You're going to get a lot of compliments on the Shelby GT350. If you do get the GT350, I do recommend getting the 2019 Plus model, which has the Predator Source technology, and which reportedly should be able to handle a certain amount of boost. So guys, you can't go wrong with either car. If you want a comfortable all-around performance machine that can do some road courses, but can also do some drag strips and can also get some groceries, then get the Mustang GT Performance Package Level 1 or Performance Package Level 2. If you want some exclusivity and quote-unquote street cred and you want to get comments from everybody and you want to turn heads, then get the Shelby GT350. Has this car been worth the extra $17,000 I paid for it over my Mustang GT? I would say yes. I absolutely love cars that handle, and after having this car on track twice, I can tell you that it is something that is beyond this world. This car defies physics. It will literally frighten you, but at the same time it is so awesome, it makes driving so easily that if you get into a little bit of trouble around the track, this car will actually save you, as long as you're not going crazy. So is the GT350 worth the extra money? Absolutely. But is the Mustang GT an awesome car? Absolutely. So if you're new to the channel and you're interested in Mustangs, Shelbys, Ducatis, Moto Guzzis, and overall car madness, then hit that subscribe, hit that bell so you don't miss anything, and do me a favor and hit that like button. Love you guys. Until next time, always remember the motto, always be kinder than necessary. We'll see you in the next one. Y'all are awesome, okay?